guys, and this is Tifel Malti, and today I'm here with a gaming PC build for $1,157.72, which is equal to €847 and 53 cents. So for this month's build, I chose the CPU, which is for the CPU I chose the AMD FX series, which is FX 8350. So it's the 8 core black edition, and it is a very well worth it CPU for its price. It's a very good CPU for the price. It has integrated graphics. It has the I think it has like AMD Radeon HD 6000 series graphics built in. So you're going to have extra graphics, although we're going to have a very decent and powerful graphics card for this build. Still, you're going to have that little extra performance built in this CPU. So this CPU comes at 4 gigahertz, so it's quite fast. You have 8 cores, which is going to be very good. And for the price is $189.99. So next in our build, for the motherboard, okay, so for the motherboard I chose the ASUS Crosshair 5 Formula Z, which is an AMD motherboard. Obviously we're going to be using an AMD CPU, which is one hell of a board. As you can see, it is I think it's the best motherboard you can buy for this CPU. You have very decent cooling, as you can see, four slots of RAM. You can connect up to 4-way SLI, but this graphics card only takes 3-way, so if you want to change the graphics card, feel free. I will talk about that very soon. So very powerful motherboard for this build, and a very worth motherboard for the price. ASUS make very good motherboards. I think you already know that. I don't have to tell you. And the it has a very good sound card on board, and it has 8 SATA ports, as you can see over here. Let me try and find the rear I/O. And okay, so PS2, USB 2.0, digital, USB 3.0, USB 2.0, and over here you have the USB 3.0 and extra USB 3.0. You have the Wi-Fi card, not the Wi-Fi card, the Ethernet card, and USB 2.0, and the onboard sound card. These two, I'm not sure what they are. I think they are one is for the antenna of Wi-Fi and one is for the antenna of Bluetooth. I am not sure. I tried to find information about them, but I didn't find, and I wasn't sure, but I guess they are just to connect the antenna, because I think it has onboard Bluetooth and Wi-Fi. So next is going to be the graphics card. Okay, so for this month's build I chose the EVGA GeForce GTX 770, which is a very good card for the price and performance. My friend has this card, and he told me he managed to max out Battlefield 4 with its single 1080p monitor, no problem at all. It didn't even reach around 55 degrees. He didn't reach 60 degrees Celsius, so it was quite good. He wasn't even overclocking the card, so a very good card for the price. He wasn't even overclocking it with Battlefield 4 ultra settings, 1080p resolution. It went up to only about 55 degrees Celsius. As you can see, it is the SuperClocked edition. You can see also the 3-way SLI, and you have GPU boost 2.0. It has also 2 gigabytes of RAM, GDDR5, so it's going to have very fast RAM. Yeah, it has decent cooling with 2 fans, and here's the rear I/O, DVI-D, DVI-I, DisplayPort, and HDMI. And over here you can see ventilation for the cooling. Let me try and over here is how the card looks, where the fans are. So it has a very beautiful design with these parts over here goldish, and over here you can see the name of the graphics card, the model number, and it's a very good graphics card, and it's coming at the price to no 436.64 dollars. So next is the RAM. So for this month I chose the Kingston HyperX Blue series. So this is one stick, but it is 8 gigabytes of RAM. So this one single stick is 8 gigs of RAM. So you can have 8 since the motherboard takes 4 slots of RAM. You can have up to 64 gigabytes of RAM if you decide to put 4 8 no 32 gigabytes of RAM, my mistake, sorry. You can have up to 32 gigabytes of RAM, so very good for the price. It is coming at the price for 69.99, so very good price. It's 8 gigabytes of RAM, as I told you, DDR3, 16,000 megahertz, so it's quite fast for gaming. It's a very good RAM stick for gaming, and that's about it for the RAM. So next is the hard drive. So for the hard drive, I just went with a normal drive, which everyone knows. I hope that everyone knows about it, which is the Western Digital Caviar Black 1 terabyte SATA drive. So it's a very good hard drive for the price. It's SATA 3, obviously. It's 7200 megahertz. No. It's 7200 rotations per minute, so it's very fast for a hard drive. Obviously not fast as an SSD, but it is still fast for the price. It's way cheaper than a 1 terabyte SSD, and this hard drive is coming for the price of 91.38. So next for the build is the not the case. No, the power supply. Okay, the power supply. For the power supply, I went with the Corsair Li. No, that's the case. The Corsair Series CX 600 watt power supply. So this power supply is 80 plus bronze, so you will save money in your power bill. You're going to save a little in your power bill. It has 600 watts of power, so it's a very good power supply for this build. And it has on top a 120 millimeter fan, and it's a very good power supply for this build. And Corsair it's a very good trusted brand for power supplies. I don't think you should go. You can, for me, in this build you can change any part you want. Feel free. Eventually you are going to buy the parts if you decide to stick with this build guide, but I don't suggest you to go and buy another power supply which isn't of an unknown brand. So let's just say you can go with I forgot that brand right now. Like I don't think no, not Swift Tech. The what was the name of that brand? Thermal Make. You can go with Thermal Make, and you can go with any as well as a known brand, but just don't get the cheapest power supply that you find, because the graphics card, the CPU, motherboard, everything is going to be connected to it. You just give them a higher or less voltage for a second and you literally have to throw them away. So I don't suggest that you go and buy an unknown power supply. You can change anything you want from this build. Just be careful in what power supply you get, since it is literally the heart of your build. Like the heart in our body pumps the blood, the power supply pumps the power around your computer. So if you have a bad heart, you're going to have a bad system in a way. That's what I mean. I'm trying to tell you. So this power supply is coming at a very good price, which is $66 and 24 cents. And for the power supply, that's about it. So for the case, I think I forgot to tell you the price of the motherboard. If I forgot to tell you the price of the motherboard, it's coming at about $243. So just in case I forgot to tell you the price of the motherboard. So for the case, I chose the Cooler Master Elite 430. So a very good case. As you can see, you have a 120 millimeter fan included over here. Over here you have where to connect a 120 millimeter fan. I would tell you what we're going to do about that very soon. So you have three DVD slots and USB and front audio microphone, power restart. It's Cooler Master over here. You have where to connect two floppy drives. I don't think you're going to connect floppy. You cannot connect floppy though with this build. The motherboard doesn't take IDE, so I guess you're just gonna go. You might, if you would use them, a card reader, but I think you just use a USB card reader. It's much more better nowadays. Just simply plug and play. So let me try and find you. Okay, opened. As you can see, the graphics card takes up to two slots over here. So two and another two and another two, and you have an extra, so you can have three SLI with this case, which is very good. Over here for the 120 millimeter fan, which doesn't come with the case, though in the front you have a fan. You have a 120 millimeter fan, but when you light it up, it turns on blue. So this, I chose to go with this fan, which is the Cooler Master SickleFlow 120 millimeter. It is it's a quiet fan. Nowadays fans have really improved on sound, and it's has LED blue, so I chose to go with the blue. Here it is how it is when it's turned on, and I chose to go with the blue since the one in the case in the front turns on blue as well. So I don't think you are going to go with front over here blue and over here red. Although in the link that there is for this fan under next to the price, there is to choose a different color fan, so you can feel free to change your color if you want to. Just you can also if you want buy two red, for example, you change the one in the front to have them red, to make them more look like a little the motherboard, since the motherboard is red and the CPU is AMD. So feel free to do what anything you want with this build. I am just giving you my suggestion and what I think will be good for gaming at this very moment. So I think that's about it for this build. Yes, so as you can see, the case has cooling for on top and it has cooling on the bottom. As you can see, here's the front fan, and here's the case when it's closed, and you also have where to connect another fan on the panel, the side panel. So a very good case, and the case is coming at the price of $49.99, and the fan, the small fan that I told you, this one is coming at a price of $10.49. So that's about it for this month's build. Please like the video if you liked it, dislike the video if disliked it. If you want to receive an email every time I upload another month's build, please subscribe, and if there are any problems, feel free to comment. If you have any suggestions for next month's build, please comment. I'm not telling you that I need you to comment, just I want you to feel that I'm taking notice of you. I'm not just making this video, oh, I did it, that's it. I want to try and interact more with my subscribers. So you can also tell me if you have a price in mind, let's just say you have a certain budget and you want me to make a build for that budget, feel free to comment or send me a message if you want to. I would try and answer you as quick as possible as I can. And that's about it. Thank you very much for watching, and I would see you next month for next month's build.
Sunlight is not enough.